I want to smash and bash and turn into a creature from another plane of existence. But also maybe cast some spells on occasion that let me turn into cool stuff during battle, but I don't want to be limited to only turning into things and that being my only offensive method. Do you have an ointment for that? Hello, and welcome to B-Sides, where I am your host, Professor Phoenix, and today have I got the perfect archetype for you. What class gets full bab and lets you cast from a sweet bloodline, but also lets you extend your possible transformations that you'd be getting limited chances of using? That's right, the Rage Shaper Bloodrager. So as per the usual, let's dig into some flavor text. All Blood Ragers blend the unpredictable surge of arcane power with the savage fury of battle lust. For most, their rage is the conduit for the eldritch power locked in their heritage. But for a Rage Shaper, the latent magical energies in his blood bring about physical transformations and facilitate the blending of arcana and aggression into a deadly synthesis that few other barbarians or even Blood Ragers can match. So for me, this screams, let's use a bloodline that has something to do with which forms we want to take the most. From the spells I've been able to find that have to do with transmutation, polymorph, the main bloodlines that I would go with are either elemental, fey, shape changer, or undead. Honestly, I would go with whichever flavor you are going for before looking for mechanical goodness. Maybe you're a protector of the fey, and as such, stick with the fey bloodline, and eventually turn into a badass fey all by yourself down the line. It's your choice though, you don't gotta listen to me. Now for the actual changes to the class. The first major change is Bestial Aspect. At 4th level, whenever a Rage Shaper gains the natural attack through the use of a polymorph spell, he can increase the damage done by the attack by 1 die. If the spell grants multiple natural attacks, the Rage Shaper must choose one kind of natural attack for the ability to enhance. At 9th level, if the Rage Shaper's altered form grants him a new mode of movement, that movement's base speed increases by 10 feet. This is an enhancement bonus. If the Rage Shaper's Blood Rage powers already grant natural attacks or alternate modes of movement, then the bonuses granted by the Bestial Aspect also apply to these Blood Rage powers. This ability replaces Blood Sanctuary. So, we get approval for our natural attacks once we get the ability to change our shape. From 4th to 8th level though, we will need to rely on bloodline abilities to change us, or a friendly wizard to hand you a scroll or something. And I guess to explain to you how to use the scroll. Either way, turning into a wolf and increasing the bite attack from 1d6 to 1d8 would be helpful. Changing a dire bat's bite from 1d8 to 1d10 would be even more helpful, plus, flight is a nice bonus. Not that bad a trade-off for Sanctuary's +2 bonus to self-damaging saves, considering you won't even be using self-damaging area of attack spells anymore. I mean, you could, but why waste spell slots on something you won't be doing that much? The bonus to speed at 9th level will really separate you from the pack as well. A wolf speed is normally 50 feet per round, but when you become the wolf, that changes to 60 feet. Double move or charge, and you'll be rending foes left and right. Now, if only we can incorporate our rages into this, which, reminds me of another ability you get, Furious Transformation. At 5th level, a Rage Shaper can attempt to bolster any transmutation spell from the Blood Rager spell list with the polymorph subschool while blood raging. The Blood Rager must succeed at a concentration check, as if casting defensively to modify the spell. Otherwise, the spell is wasted. If he succeeds, the spell is treated as if the Rage Shaper had the Extend Spell Magic feat. The Rage Shaper must be the spell's intended target or cast a spell with a range of personal to gain this effect. If the Rage Shaper casts a spell that is linked to the Rage Shaper's own bloodline, such as a Rage Shaper with the Elemental bloodline who casts Elemental Body 1, the spell is automatically extended without forcing the concentration check, so long as the Rage Shaper casts it while in a Blood Rage. This ability replaces improved uncanny dodge. So now we've got what basically boils down to a built-in extend spell for our transformations. If you go with an elemental bloodline, boom, become that fire elemental for double the time. It is still minutes per level, but now it's 2 minutes per level. This would last much longer than our rages would, and that's a good thing. How else would you be bragging about how badass your earthen form is, only to have it conk out midway through a siege? Now, you would have to make that concentration check of 15 plus double the spell level. To make this check, you would roll your handy d20 and add your caster level and your charisma modifier. So if you're level 7 and casting a second level spell and your charisma is 14, then your DC would be 15 plus 2 times 2, or 19. That would add 7 plus 2 to your d20 roll at a plus 9. And you would have a 55% chance of succeeding. That's why you should always be trying to pump your charisma. Maybe play like every time you increase your charisma stat, you got a new badass scar or something. That's what I would do. Now, I know you're looking at me and tilting your head, waiting for me to tell you exactly what spells this archetype would cover. Don't worry, I got you, fam. Spells the Rage Shaper takes advantage of. Level 1 spells, you get Face of the Devourer. Now, this is listed on the Bloodrager spell list, but not on the actual spell page itself. I know, it's the only spell you would get that has the polymorph sub-school at level 1. The good news is you would gain a bite attack for medium creatures that deals 1d6 damage and lasts a minute per level. Considering you would be at a minimum of 4th level once you can cast this one, that's at least 4 minutes of you looking like your face is made of balsa wood with fangs. That 1d6 turns into a 1d8 plus your strength modifier, so hey, small blessings, huh? Level 2 spells, you get Quick Change and Animal Aspect. Not much that's useful in level 2 casting except for the animal aspects. At this point, you'll be using the aspects to get you places you need to go, while Quick Change isn't going to be very useful to you unless your bloodline gives you something you wouldn't get normally. Now, level 3 spells, you get Greater Animal Aspect, Beast Shape 1, Fey Form, Infuse Self, Monstrous Extremities, Monstrous Physique 1, and Undead Anatomy. And here we are. In level 3, we get access to animals and outsiders and monsters and undead polymorph spells. Now we can start looking awesome and letting the bestial fury fly. So now for your level 4 spells, you get Beast Shape 2, Vermin Shape 1, Elemental Body 1, Monstrous Physique 2. And here's the creme de la crop, the top of the top spells from this archetype. Well, yeah, you can become an elemental to fight that dragon you need to protect from, become a larger monster or animal like a lion or a bear and get your pounce on. So, yeah, man. And then, so for my take on this archetype, I like the flavor it offers the Bloodrager. You are a protector of whichever bloodline you choose. Maybe you are protecting the graveyard and its residents have risen from their eternal slumbers, so it's your job to put them back. As you grow in power, you are slowly becoming more of the thing you were sworn to look after. Either way, you become much more badass as you grow. As for what race would be the most fun to do this as, I think I would go for a half-orc. You get a bonus to any one ability score, you get orc ferocity, and you would have access to all the orcish weapons as well, like the orc double axe that gives you a pair of 1d8s to play with. The orcish skull ram offers 1d10 and has reach, and the orc hornbow is ranged with 2d6 and 80 feet of range. I'm just saying you would have some fun when not in a form that isn't your own. The final thing for this video, I'd like to thank Huey Bombalooey for suggesting this archetype. It was pretty eye-opening for me with this Bloodrager spell list. Thanks for sticking through the video. If you have any archetypes you want me to do in the future, leave it in the comments down below. If you think I missed something for this archetype, let me know. Come yell at me at my new Discord, link in the description. I promise I'm not crazy, it really exists. I don't have a catch line or a catchphrase to play me out of the video, so I'm just gonna sing and sing until you guys just click off. Don't forget the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm just gonna thank you for watching the video.